Yo, I found this 10 rupees in the airport in Clarkville. And that's probably how they lost it, maybe playing around with it. But, it's like 85 cents or something. But the important part here is this fellow here, Mahatma Gandhi. And I would encourage everybody to watch the 1982 Richard Attenborough documentary on Gandhi and his nonviolent resistance and protest to British colonial rule in India. The film opens, of course, with him in South Africa, which has its own set of troubles over the years, of course, and feeling discrimination of being kicked off a whites only train. Later returning to India, he went through several different non resistance of protest of basically just not participating in the colonial rule at that time under the empire of the United Kingdom. So I thought it was really fitting that I found this, and I wanted to share that with you, and I want you to take that under consideration in the pending days that are coming ahead. Is that if you're not willing to cast fireballs like a wizard, there's other options for you as well through nonviolence, and sometimes it's just a question of opting out. I think running to Canada and maybe to Mexico is one way, I suppose. But even for myself, as I work my way back to the United States, to be there to help hold the line and be of support and to be an ally to those people who are going to face some, undeserved hardships. Remember the whole thing with this idiocracy of cabinet appointments or whatever else. That's all part of the circus. It's all distraction. Meanwhile, they're working to dismantle all the other sort of social services or social programs, which they consider entitlements, right? Like Social Security is considered an entitlement. The fact that your employer took that percentage out of your money, your paycheck, all these years, and then, of course, they want to give it to, as what George Carlin said, their criminal friends on Wall Street, and they want to invest it for you. And you'd think that sounds like a good idea because they might do it, but even Noam Chomsky will tell you that one of the easiest ways to destroy these kind of social institutions, of course, is to privatize them and to defund them, etc. And so, you know, I think we're at a point where maybe those people that depend on some of those social services, and let's face it, there are children and there are elderly and there are people who are probably less able or alter able that require those services, and to defund them and to cast them aside just because we need to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, or as Elon Muscatan says that hardships are coming. Well, who in the fuck is he to decide? He's got more money than anybody else. So why did he hop on a rocket, shove it up his ass, and go to Mars and leave the rest of us alone? I mean, that's just fucking ridiculous, honestly. And the fact that this prick has embedded himself into politics, I think the best analogy is indeed that he is a cuckoo. He gets into the nest, he pushes out the actual people that discover and found things. He's not a genius. He's just a fucking opportunist, like many of them are. And probably, three quarters on his way to being a sociopath or psychopath or definitely a narcissist. And I hope it all goes to his head. I hope he catches the fucking bug for politics, and I hope they just tear him apart because they do. They eat their own up there in the belt way of DC and so forth. And even today, I got a bit of a headache. I had to put my seat upright and fasten my seatbelt. Not only in this whole machination have I had to agree with Dick Cheney, today I had to agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene about the ethics committee on Gates. I mean, and Epstein. I mean, she's got to know that her boy is on that list. But yeah, let's see it all. We should have saw all that shit before the so-called election. And, for those people that are rotting in bed or laying flat and all that other sort of opting out options, okay, that's fine. But for those of us who are a bit more involved, let's see. Let's see what you got. I don't give a fuck about this UFO dead alien shit. We know all about that. We don't care. Unless that's got some, magical effect on what the hell is going to happen here. With the grasshopper lies heavy, according to Philip K. Dick. So if you want to be another man in the high castle, that's up to you. But, you know, they might say resistance is futile, but I'd rather exercise in futility and be somewhere in the action. So you pick your battles anyway. And if you can't, again, mix styrofoam and gasoline at will, then you also have the option to go this route. But the main thing is that you continue to resist this coup and occupation by foreign agents who have decided to divide and conquer us, and the same for the oligarchs. So death to tyranny, death to tyrants, deguelo bitches. So hang in there. Love you, babies.